Hi everybody, this is Howard, the Teaserking, coming to you with Week 3's picks. Um, as the season gets going, I really get into a better rhythm, which is hard to believe since I'm 35-2 the first 2 weeks. What you're looking at is you get a better understanding of who's a good quarterback and the bad. Some guy gets injured, they bring in a replacement, he's a superstar. So you have no way of knowing because you can't judge high school talent like you can judge college into pro. Like Andrew Luck's going to be a good pro, but you can't judge a high school guy and say he's going to be a good college guy. That's almost impossible. Maybe a running back, but these quarterbacks you have no idea. A lot of it's the competition. I mean, if they play a bunch of high school teams, who knows how good they are. So things start to get more and more into focus. I'm still trying. The big lesson is you want to be patient. You want to play pocket aces, pocket kings, pocket queens, ace king as much as you can. So sometimes, some of the weeks you don't have that, and you force games. And I don't like to do that. So I like to be patient. For this week, though, I see about 20 games that I like and I could play. I try to eliminate some that I think are a little risky. An example would be Michigan against Vegas. First look, I'd say, oh, Michigan will win easy. If they're laying 34 and you cut them to 28, Michigan still doesn't have that strong of an offense. They beat Oregon State 35-7, but and I know Vegas is a weak team, but I just think 34 is now we're getting into the Harbaugh. If Harbaugh's not the coach, they're laying 21, and it's an easy bet. But with Harbaugh, they're laying 34. And, I think they'll shut out Vegas. I think their defense is very strong. I'm just worried about their offense. I'm worried about their offense being able to explode. It's hard for a team that really doesn't have a quarterback, and they run the ball a lot, and they play defense. So they're basically an under team to cover a 34-point spread. I would much rather have a passing team who's going to throw the ball for 400 yards blow out another team than a running defensive team blow out a team. So that's kind of like, I like Michigan, but I think the spread's too high, so I'm going to watch that. Now to what I was talking about, first game, North Carolina State laying 18.5 to Old Dominion. There you have Brissett, the quarterback from Florida, is the quarterback for North Carolina State. They throw it a lot, they score a lot. Old Dominion's a very weak team, no defense, weak offense, perfect. Take North Carolina State, lay the 18.5, cut it to 12.5. It's less than 2 touchdowns. North Carolina State will get in the 40s, Old Dominion maybe 10. You got a nice 30-point win there without much problem. Next game, Duke, which I always love, laying only 3 to Northwestern. I think that spread should be 7, maybe even 10. Everybody sees Northwestern beating Stanford at home, thinking that was good, but that was a noon game, week 1, which is a 9 a.m. game for Stanford. They only put up 16 points on Stanford. I just like Duke all around. They got a great defense. They got a great coach. The quarterback apparently is fine. They scored 37 on Tulane and came back with 50-something against the high school team they played last week. So I like Duke only laying 3. You get 3 points with them. I think Duke wins by about 10 here, but Duke will win the game. Next game is Indy laying 2.5 to Western Kentucky. I like Western Kentucky in 8 here. I think the better team is the underdog because the game's in Indy. Indy's laying 2, but Western Kentucky, very impressive, beating a very good Louisiana Tech team last week at home, who I feel is as good or better than Indiana. Indiana doesn't scare me. Western Kentucky's got the quarterback and the offense and a very good defense. They can run the ball. Even if they get down, they have the offense to come back. I think Western Kentucky should be a 3-point favorite here. You got them getting 2. You tease them up to 8. I think Western Kentucky wins this game straight out. You get 8 points. Cincinnati laying 19 to Miami of Ohio is another You got a great quarterback, very explosive offense, not much defense. Coming off a loss to Temple. They need to win. They got to get to their 6 games, whatever. This is a Miami of Ohio. I don't know if it's a rivalry. They're both in Ohio. I know they're fairly close to each other, but Cincy at the end of the day has got the better quarterback, better offense. And Miami of Ohio doesn't have much of an offense anyway. I see Cincy putting up 40 here and Miami getting a 10. It's like the North Carolina State game. It's only 19. You chop it to 13. I think that's an easy winner there. Temple laying 10.5 to UMass. Temple looks real. They look very good. Scoring 27 on Penn State, and holding them to 10, and then beating Cincy at Cincy. Very impressive. UMass has a good quarterback, decent offense, but they only scored 14 on Colorado, which really doesn't have a defense. Temple will shut them down. They'll probably score about 14. I look at Temple to get about 35, 37, about 37-14. Cheap spread here, laying 10.5, cut it to 4.5. Even if it's a close game, Temple wins by 10 easily. So I like Temple. I'm just going to ride Temple, their defense, and they're showing enough offense that you can bet them here as a favorite. So far they've been the dog. You got to be careful with road favorites, I know. But UMass is a really weak defense, and Temple, I'm just betting here on Temple's defense with enough offense to get into the 30s here. And the last game, Ball State laying 5.5 to Eastern Michigan. All of a sudden, Eastern Michigan's quarterback gets hurt. You think they're done. Backup comes in, puts up 48 on Wyoming, throws for 330 yards and 4 touchdowns. That'll be a good enough offense to keep this game close. If not, they win it. I don't know why Ball State's favorite here. They're not a very good team. They're a really weak team. This is more that they think Eastern's still a weak team, which I would agree with until I see you go to Wyoming. Now, Wyoming's not that good of a team, but neither is Eastern, and they put up a 48 and win 48-24. It does, you do take notice to that. So really I'm betting this Eastern quarterback, assuming he's going to throw another 300 yards. Ball State doesn't look impressive, and not sure they're a road favorite. So I just like Eastern Michigan. I think they'll win the game at home. And you got 11.5 with all of a sudden a big offense with a good quarterback. I know it's one game. I wouldn't bet it heavy, but I keep an eye on Eastern until the spread gets adjusted. Eastern should be a 7-point favorite in this game, and they're getting 5.5. You tease it up to 11.5. With this offense and this against Ball State's got a really weak offense, so Ball State's not going to score much. Maybe they'll get 20, but Eastern, at least they'll get 14 with this new quarterback and new offense. So I like Eastern in this game. Now I'll give you one other play. Washington State laying 24 to Wyoming. I like Washington State here. Wyoming is terrible. Gave up 48 to Eastern at home. Washington State's very explosive, as you know, with Mike Leach, the coach. That passing offense. They had an impressive win at Rutgers last week. Not much of a defense, but they'll score a lot. And they're at home, and Wyoming is just really weak. So take Washington State with 18. All right, everybody, good luck to you. Again, www.teaserking.com. I don't have a college lock going. I'm debating about one, but I'm not really sold on it yet. I might decide it. I do have a pro lock going, a very strong pro lock I highly recommend. And there's a few more college games there, and then all the pros. So please feel free to go to the site. You can email me. I'd like to have a big week. I'm on fire. I had Denver last night, and like I said, I got the lock going on Sunday. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Good luck, and let's go make some money.